In the absence of Sita, Rama was growing passionate. He missed his beloved woman. Then the weather was changing from rains to autumn. The passion grows stronger and stronger. Valmiki has described this situation in verses of great excellence. Lakshman had tried to calm the nerves of Rama, but he replied, Lakshman, what you suggest is useful in the present and beneficial in the future. Your approach is diplomatic and is in line with the concept of Sam, Dam and Dharma. However, it is not advisable to expect results without having made efforts. Thinking constantly of Sita, whose eyes resembled a lotus in bloom, Rama's mouth parched. He talked of the advent of Sharad Ritu, the season, autumn. He said, during the rains, the clouds, blue like bouquets of blue lotus, had colored the sky blue all over. Like elephants no longer in must, those clouds have lost their prowess. O sinless Lakshmana, the thunder of the clouds, the trumpet of the elephants, the peacock's calls, and the roar of the cataracts have suddenly been silenced. The Sharad Ritu has scattered her bounty in the branches of the Saptaparni trees, in the glory of the sun, the moon and the stars, and in the antics of the massive elephants. The autumn bestows Lakshmi with its own splendor. The latter looks resplendent, uniquely glorious in several manifestations. However, most of all she displays her magnificence when the lotus blooms with the first rays of the rising sun. Fond of flirtation, the Hansa frolics with the Chakravak. Flying together from the Mansarovar, they have descended on the river banks, covered with the lotus pollen. Their large feathers look stunning. Looking at the skies bereft of the clouds, the peacocks in the forest, shedding their colourful fantails, as if discarding their jewels, stay away from the peahens, losing their glory. Joyless they sit, lost in thought. It was the rainy season when they mated, and this is a scene of desolation and deprivation in autumn for them. The elephants are indolent, although they wander with their mates. They ooze must in excess, are full of lust and easily excited. They love the lotus flowers and forests. You see, in the entire scheme of things in this verse, it is Kama Bhav that is being described. The sky sparkles like the edge of a sword recently honed. The rivers flow at leisure, rich in the aroma of the white lotus. Standing among their herds of cows, joyously the bulls bellow with full force. They are excited. The autumn makes them look glamorous. Dust has covered their limbs. Their libido aroused, they itch for a fight. Walking at leisure, the she-elephants of good breed waiting to be mated surround their males oozing must and are ready to copulate. Equally excited, passionate, they follow him into the forest. Mark the words. They describe nature as well as the state of mind of Rama, who is longing for Sita to be in his arms. The flamingos and the geese happily alight into the streams where the mud on the shores has dried. What a surprise! He looks at the season. The passionate Sandhya, like an amorous Naika, disrobes herself of the firmament. Imagine Sandhya disrobing herself of the firmament. She is delighted at the caresses of the moonbeams. What images? Think over them. Like the whites of her eyes anticipating pleasure. The tiny stars twinkle. The Sharad night dressed in the moonlight. Elephants enchants like an alluring damsel wrapped in white. The rising moon is her pleasant face. The stars her wide open attractive eyes. Making a meal of ripe sheaves of rice with boundless joy, the flocks of cranes speedily flying in lovely formations, like the well-knit garlands of flowers, tossed by the winds, floating in the sky. The beautiful ponds look like shapely women dressed in finery and elegant robes. Flocks of flamingos form their waistbands. Blooming lotuses make their necklaces. The tall new sedge growing on river banks adds to their fascination. The grasses sway in a gentle breeze. Smiling through their tiny buds, they glisten like spotless, freshly washed silks. Like a coy woman during her first union, compelled to open her thighs by and by, the rivers where waters have receded show their naked banks to the onlookers. Soumya, Lakshmana, the water in the ponds is clean and settled. The ospreys quack, gaggles of geese gather all over. The birds make the ponds look lovelier. O Prince, the time is ripe for enemies of long standing and for kings desirous of conquering another to wage a war. He wants Lakshman to go and tell Sugriv to send his messengers all over to find the whereabouts of Sita. He is thinking of her again and again and says, like a chakvi following her mate, the blessed Sita accompanied me to the Dandaka Aranya. Inhospitable and frightening, as if she was visiting a garden. She was not afraid of the jungle. She thought she was visiting a garden because Ram was there. I have been separated from my beloved. My kingdom has been snatched and I have been exiled. Even in this desperate situation, Sugriv is not lifting a finger to help me. Lakshman assures him, promises him to go to Sugriv and sort out the things.